David Brooks, can he get Bournemouth off to a positive start in this shootout? It will be left-footed against his Welsh international colleague Wayne Hennessy, and Brooks finds the bottom left corner with a smart spot kick, even though the keeper went the right way.
No problems there, kept it hard and low, Brooksy.
Well, Luka Milivojevic will be making his way forward next for Crystal Palace to try and level it up immediately. Remember last season, Cherries saved all the penalties fired at them by Forest Green. Can Asmir Begovic possibly repeat the heroics of Mark Travers? As Milivojevic, the Serb, up against the Bosnian Begovic. Here he comes now, right-footed, and it's 1-1 as Milivojevic confidently slots it into the bottom right.
Yeah, that was a pretty positive penalty, wasn't it? Hard and low, almost in the side netting. Even if you go the right way, unlikely you're going to save that one.
Sam Surridge will go next for the Cherries away to our right. Had a bright game this evening. Again, good willingness in industry and made some good runs as the out-and-out striker. Had the ball in the net earlier on, of course, ruled offside, possibly wrongly. Can he put the ball in the net now when it counts legally for the Cherries to put them ahead in the shootout? He does. Good penalty to the left-hand side. This time Hennessy went the wrong way. Cherries 2-1 up after taking 2.
Yeah, nice pen by Sam. Firmly hit. Do like it when the ball hits that side netting. Usually means the keeper's got pretty much no chance.
Michy Batshuayi will stroll forward for Palace, way to our right. Back on loan from Chelsea, of course. He's down the pecking order. Didn't have too many opportunities himself in the game to worry Asmir Begovic. So Palace, so far 100%, both teams. This to level it up at 2-2 after 2 each. Batshuayi against Begovic, and this time Begovic goes the right way, but again, it's a very good penalty. You've got to say, 4 very good penalties all round, Willow.
Well, again, that one's hit the side net, and even Begovic picked the right corner to go for, but you just can't get near it.
So Batshuayi will be replaced by Billing, who level at 2-2. Cherries have got that advantage first of all, of course. Don't forget, Palace were eliminated on penalties last season by lower league opposition Colchester after a 0-0 draw, also in the second round. Cherries came out the right side of a shootout after a 0-0 draw in the second round. Can Billing give them the advantage again here with his left foot? And then excellent penalty from Billing. Lashes it into the bottom right corner.
Absolutely, these are high-class penalties. I don't know. I heard somebody asking, is it different taking penalties with no crowd there?
Andros Townsend will come forward now for Crystal Palace, away to our right. So 3-2 the Cherries lead. No advantage either way at the moment. Nothing to choose between these two sides as Begovic gives the crossbar in the net one last rattle. Townsend waits for it to settle down, and he finds the corner as well. Begovic once more going the right way, but unable to do anything about it. 3-3 after 3 each.
Yeah, not quite as firm as some of the other penalties, but he still found the bottom corner. Townsend.
Cherries captain Lloyd Kelly taking the opportunity and the responsibility. Away to our right here. Manchester City, remember, await next weekend. Sorry, next Thursday, I should say. Here's Kelly then with the armband on, with the Cherries 4th. Everyone has scored so far. Kelly scores, keeps that run going. 4-3 Bournemouth, having taken 1 more.
The best 7 penalties I've seen for ages.
Keepers haven't had a prayer.
Well, they
so
can't
far,
get near them. They're right in the corner, hitting the side netting. And they've got pace on them as well.
Ebere Eze will come forward next for Crystal Palace. We're getting towards crunch time now, because outside the top 5, there's 1 or 2 in this Cherries team who won't have taken a lot of penalties in a pressure situation like this before. But Ebere Eze up against Begovic to level it at 4-4 after 4 for Crystal Palace. Eze takes his time, takes a deep breath, couple of steps to the side, couple of little feints, and then rolls it and somehow finds the corner.
How did that get in?
Begovic in the end almost apologetically escorted it into the corner. And I've got to say, Eze, that is the coolest one you like. It's one of those where you can easily look silly, but he found the net. 4-4.
Dear me.
I still thought Begovic was going to save it.
Well, I did too. It didn't look like it had that much pace on it neither.
The 5th penalty comes from Bournemouth's Dom Solanke then. 4-4, 4 each taken. The final of the regular takers. Solanke up against Hennessy. Still not a blot on anyone's copybook here at the Vitality Stadium. Solanke, short steps, finds the bottom corner again, and Hennessy again goes the right way. And the keepers are wondering, what do we have to do here? We're going the right way. We still can't get near any of them.
Well, they've all been excellent penalties. Apart from that little hop step and a jump running up to the ball. Not sure about that one.
So 5-4 Bournemouth lead. The final Palace penalty of this regular part of the shootout will come from Jordan Ayew, the Ghanaian leading scorer last season, came on as a substitute this evening, has to score, otherwise Bournemouth are off to the Etihad next Thursday. Begovic stands in his way. Jordan Ayew with a relatively short run-up, 3 or 4 steps. Here he comes, and he finds the corner as well. And we have a full house, Willow, 10 out of 10, 5-5, and we move to sudden death.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. People who didn't run it really want to take a penalty are being forced into it now.
Jack Simpson next. So, where were you on the penalty taker roster, Willow? About number 10?
I'd be about 3 more and you'd get to me.
Desperation measures. Well, Jack Simpson, number 6 on the roster. Everyone has scored so far. Somebody eventually will miss. Let's hope it's not Jack Simpson right now. We're into sudden death then. Here he comes, Jack Simpson, and he's scored as well. A sort of penalty that a centre forward would be happy with. Bottom right.
That's very good. Had a good game, Jack, as well. Just captures his performance, that one, hard and low into the bottom left-hand corner.
You haven't got anywhere to be tomorrow, have you? Because we might still be here. Max Meyer will come next. We are starting to get, I mean, if we get to the goalkeepers, and I can't remember a shootout for a long time that's had the goalkeepers taking them as the 11th taker. You see some smart aleck goalkeepers who get themselves earlier in the order, don't you? Very confident. Anyway, here comes Max Meyer for Palace. Simple scoreline, has to score, has to keep Palace in it by beating Begovic, which he does as well. To the left-hand side of the goal as Begovic this time goes the wrong way. And already into his walk forward is Dan Gosling.
Yeah, would have thought Dan might have been in the original 5, takes responsibility, bit of a leader.
So we're up to number 7 in the order of the 11 who finished the game.
What's the record for the most amount of penalties taken?
I mean, I haven't got that. I just have not got that stat for you.
I thought you were a penalty organiser.
I haven't got it. I just haven't got that, I'm
Kane.
afraid. No, he won't be able to find that either. Anyway, Dan Gosling. It's 6-6. Both teams have had 6. Cherries are taking first. So Gosling to restore the advantage. And oh, the Palace players, as it goes into the back of the net, the Palace players were celebrating, jumping around. They thought Hennessy had saved it. Off the goalkeeper's fingertips, onto the post and into the net.
Well, that was it.
Oh no, not on the post, so it was the goalkeeper's flat hand. I thought it hit the post. Well, it went in.
That's one bright spark for Palace today. The keeper's been back on the pitch.
48 penalties is the record in the Namibia Cup.
The Namibian Cup, that's got to be. 48 penalties. So Gosling scored. He was a bit lucky. Palace thought Hennessy had saved it. Now here is Mamadou Sakho, who has to score. 7-6 Bournemouth lead. Here's the substitute Sakho, and he scores with his left foot into the high side of the left edge of the net. 7-7.
Yeah, that was getting into the realms of top corner there. Another good penalty.
Jefferson Lerma scored on Saturday here, opening his account for the season. Cool as a cucumber normally, Jefferson. Apart from when he's getting hot under the collar, of course. Keith Stroud, the referee, underarms the ball to Jefferson Lerma. I've been pleased to see no messing about from the goalkeepers either. They just both get him straight back on their line. None of this kidology. Hennessy stands big with his arms up. Jefferson Lerma, 7-7 in the shootout to put Bournemouth in front once again, and he scores as well into the right-hand side of the goal. They must have been practicing penalties all in lockdown.
Do you know what I have to say? Because there isn't a crowd behind the goal, I think that makes a difference.
Yeah.
There's no, the hard bit comes when you've got 30,000 behind the goal and you've got to take a penalty.
Certainly does. So here comes Martin Kelly with Palace's 8th. We really are starting to get towards the guys who wouldn't really want to be taking them. And again, the equation, as it has been for the last 3 penalties, is that Palace have to score. Martin Kelly against Begovic with Palace's 8th. Top corner from Martin Kelly. Top left corner. Unbelievable standard. 8-8.
Well, the goalkeepers have both, I would say, 3/4 picked the right way to go, but the ball has just been too firmly hit or too high in the net to get a hand on it.
Well, there are 3 penalty takers left for the Cherries. The next is Namdi Offerbor, who will take one. Still to take one in the team. Asmir Begovic, of course, the keeper, and Jordan Zamora. But this one falls to Namdi Offerbor, the 9th for the Cherries. 8-8 it stands. Here's Namdi Offerbor, scores as well. Pleased for him as well, because you don't want it really to be one of the youngsters who makes the faux pas if one is to come. But Offerbor, that was confident, drove it in.
Well, you have to remember, Pele missed a penalty once.
I'm sure you missed one once as well. I'm sure it's easily done. So Palace, their 10th penalty, sorry, 9th penalty, and this is big Ryan Innes, the big centre-half, with their 9th. He has to score up against Begovic, and he's put it in the top corner as well. The right top corner with his right foot. 9-9.
Very, very confident.
Well, here is the Zimbabwean Jordan Zamora. Full 90 minutes on his Bournemouth debut, and he has the 10th penalty of this League Cup shootout, with the score on the scoreboard away to our right saying 9-9. So Zamora wearing squad number 33 on his back with his orange boots, away to our right in front of the south end with a little posse of cameras and ball boys just away to the left. He is up against Wayne Hennessy. What's the young man got? Here comes Jordan Zamora, and he somehow found the net with an unconvincing penalty, but he's got it in, and Bournemouth have 10.
They ran up again, the Palace lads. They thought he'd got to it, he picked the right way to go. There wasn't a lot of pace on the ball neither, but it crept in.
I'm not sure if he had a free shot or goal. He could strike a ball less convincingly again than he did there. Scuffed it with his instep, and it bobbled its way almost apologetically into the corner. So here we go with the final penalty of the outfield players, and it's Jaroslav Jak who spots it down. The Polish player away to our right against Begovic. 10-9 to Bournemouth. Are we heading for the keepers, or is Begovic going to have a say? He does have a hand, but unfortunately not to stop it going into the net. And it is 10-10, and we're down to the goalkeepers, John Williams.
Yeah, he did get a hand on it.
Well, I've got to say, I don't think I've ever been at a shootout that's had the keepers taking them after a full house of 10 each. Nobody has missed. We've had 20 successful penalties. Bournemouth Palace, if you're just tuning in the second round of the Carabao Cup, the first goalkeeper will be Asmir Begovic of Bournemouth against his opposite number. Right footed, goes for power, Hennessy saves it. Well, Asmir Begovic just went with the kitchen sink there rather than any kind of placement, and Hennessy guessed right, and he saves it, and Palace have the advantage, and the Welshman Hennessy can win it.
Well, that's kind of unfortunate, because it was a good strike, but once it's off the ground, most of the other penalties, if they weren't in the bottom corner, they were in the top corner, and that little 2-foot height always gives the keeper a chance.
So Asmir Begovic, on his first Bournemouth game for 18 months or so, now has to make up for it by saving the one from his opposite number. Hennessy, oh, he's nearly got out of the stadium! A disastrous penalty from Hennessy. He missed by almost the whole postcode over the bar. absolute disaster, and it remains 10-10, and we're coming round again with David Brooks back for a second go.
Did it go out the ground?
Nearly. On the beach, look out.
Dear me.
That was miles over the bar. Goodness me, I think he forgot he'd put concrete in his boots before he took that one. I've never been at a shootout where it's gone round for a second time. So David Brooks is back.
Me neither.
There's people on the halfway line putting their boots back on. David Brooks then. So everybody except the keepers scored, and then the keepers both missed. So here's David Brooks. 10-10 if you're still keeping count. Brooks, left-footed, scores again in the top corner. Another excellent penalty from David Brooks. 11-10 to Bournemouth.
Absolutely fantastic penalty by Brooks. He smashed it high into the top corner. No goalkeeper's getting that one.
Goodness me. Well, the bloke with the pre-drawn-out penalty chart, I mean, my notes are in absolute ribbons here. I've now got a second column going. Anything could happen here. 11-10 to Bournemouth. And of course we remain in sudden death, so Milivojevic comes forward for his second penalty, and he has to score to keep to keep Palace in it. Here we go, the 24th penalty for Milivojevic. It's all over. Begovic has saved it to his left-hand side. A good strong hand from the big goalkeeper, who thought he'd blown it a moment ago when he missed his own penalty, but he dives to his left, he saves Milivojevic's penalty, and Bournemouth have beaten Crystal Palace 11-10 on penalties, and they will go to Manchester City in the third round next Thursday night.